Sit back, relax, put your belt on, and enjoy the show.
All right, well, let's move on to Super Rugby Aotearoa. 2 games there. It was actually the Super Rugby Aotearoa Pacifica round. So last week we had the First Nations round and Super Rugby AU, and the Pacifica round was great. It was good to see a lot of players getting into it, some of the traditional dress, some more, I'm not sure if there was more hakas, but certainly just an awesome feel around the week. Artie Sevilla was certainly very passionate about it. It was very cool. So the first game of the weekend was the Hurricanes and the Chefs. Certainly a game of 2 halves, to say the old adage. Returning Caleb Trask from a knee injury pre-season, he was thrown straight into the starting lineup. Bryn Gatland, not even to the bench, see a champ. Harry, what did you have to say about that?
I think he was always going to get an opportunity no matter what. And because DMAC is clearly going to come on and play the last 20 at 10, there's no reason to play both of them. So they'll work out who their first choice is. But I think this is bound to happen at some point.
Oh, I think they've worked it out after this game as well, but that's just mine.
I disagree, but we'll get into that.
In the previews. Aiden Ross returned from a knee injury as well pre-season to start at loose head. And Quinn Tupaia, he returned from a hammy injury. Did he play last week as well? I should know because he's in my fantasy team.
Weeks ago.
No,
they had Wainui playing at centre, remember?
Yes. Well, anyway, Quinn Tupaia, he was awesome. And injuries this week, we had Tupo Va'i, a concussion. So he failed his HIA and didn't return. I forget how early it was, but I think it was pretty early in the game. So this one, as I said, game of 2 halves. The Hurricanes basically played their game the first half, and it looked like it was going to be extended. Did the Chiefs already take out the longest losing streak in New Zealand rugby, or was this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So they already had the record, and they didn't want to extend it.
They had to beat the Crusaders to stop it.
That's true. So that was already a done deal. But no, in terms of the possession. Hurricanes ended this one with 39% possession to the Chiefs' 61. In the second half, which I was alluding to, the Chiefs actually had 65% possession. Territory 35 to 65 in the second half was 29 to 71%. So the Chiefs had 65% possession and 71% territory in that second half. So that was certainly a turnaround. We had two new pivots playing 5'8". Auburn Ledger running out for the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes chose not to throw Geordie Barrett in there in 10, which would have been tempting, but instead threw Ledger out. I didn't think Ledger had a bad outing. It didn't particularly impress. But what did you guys make of Auburn?
Didn't notice him, man. He's a number 10.
Nothing.
What he did. So
the most noticeable thing was his fluoro orange boots. That's about it.
You should know that the number 10 is on the field.
Excellent. Lamape, 2 try assists. He certainly got back involved in the game. Look, it was nice. Sorry?
Seriously, yeah.
Just put him at 10. Like, it actually could be a masterstroke for them. Just give him the ball.
Just run 3 centers out there, mate. Him, Billy Proctor, and Peter Umunga Jensen. Why
Do
not?
it.
Yeah. I'll put Vince Asso, but yeah.
Or Vince. Chuck him out. Very good. And look, so yeah, it was nice seeing him get back involved because we talked about in the preview last week. It was bizarre how they hadn't been using him. Rayasi, mate, we could talk about him for another 3 minutes, but how good was he? 2 tries, and just as we've been saying the whole year, we'll get into it in the previews, but yeah, he was just immense, strong, fast, unbelievable. So he was very good. Halftime, 26-7 for the Canes. And that's kind of where it all turned around. The Chiefs ended that half with a little bit of momentum, but the second half they came out. It took them a long time to get some pay, but once they did score, about 58 minutes in, they just opened the floodgates and they turned the game around. Chase Tiatia coming on was amazing.
He's brilliant.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was
Good.
It was huge. The only last big moments before I get in the stats was Geordie Barrett making that 50-meter from the sideline penalty goal to put the Hurricanes back in front, but still the Chiefs came back and won that one. So stats, Chiefs 525 to 350 meters, 23 to 16 tackle busts, 12 to 9 line breaks. So they dominated the attacking stats. Most of those came in the second half. Set piece was pretty even, not a lot of mistakes there. But in terms of fantasy, Ricky Riccatelli, a Nelson pickup, a 1 weeker, was the fantasy man of the match. 65 points from his 7 carries, 2 tries, 11 line-out throws, 12 tackles. Just did some work. It was a really great battle between the 2 hookers in this one. And rounding out the points, we had Nata Arkoi, 60 points, Brad Weber and Rayasi, 54, Sam Kane, 53, above Artie Sevilla, 51 points, and Lamape on 48 points. This was a points fest. It was fantastic.
And that's 3 matches so far. I've had the man of the match in each. So
could be why you're at the top, mate.
Very telling.
But yeah, anyway, a really fun game to watch, and it was awesome to see the Chiefs back and firing, wasn't it?
Good luck getting the best in the next one. It was. Sorry, I'm just sending some hate Nelson's way over here. Richie Mo is just going to ruin your streak, so suck at that. But yeah, it was awesome seeing the Chiefs just back in full flight. And I mean, we saw this for a little while the week earlier against the Crusaders as well. But against the Blues a couple of weeks ago as well, and then before they got overrun. But they're at their best. They're a very, very good side, and with a bit of confidence, anything could happen with them.
Well, it was interesting. They had previously started games really well and then just fallen apart. This game, it took them a whole half to really get into it, and then the second half, they just it was huge. I think the pivotal moment was Chase Tiatia running out and D-Mac moving into 10.
Yeah,
that really just seemed to work for them. Just obviously, just like Lamape, give D-Mac the ball.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. All right. The game of the round, the one we're all, well, I don't know about the game of the round, but the one we were all waiting for. We've been waiting a year for it after it was cancelled last year. The Blues and the Crusaders in Auckland. Harry, are you going to take us through this one?
Yep. 4 tries each. 43-27 though, the Crusaders over the Blues. The Crusaders, it looked like they actually turned up to play, and that all the other games so far this year have just been practice runs for them.
Just pre-season.
I don't think they'd kicked a single penalty from memory before this game. And in this one, they actually decided to take their points when they had the opportunity, because they actually realised they might actually need some scoreboard pressure. So Richie Mo, excellent again, kicked absolutely everything. But
is that when you know you're fucked? When the Crusaders take a penalty goal, you go, "Oh, shit, they're actually here to play today." Oh my god,
they're taking this seriously. Look, returning for this one, you had Cullen Grace come back from his rib injury, Ethan Blackadder back from his concussion, Ollie Jaeger coming back from his foot injury, and TJ Faiani, he had a long-term injury for the Blues that he made his comeback off the bench. Normally they're established number 12, so it was good to see him back. Finlay Christie, after a very good year last year, came back off the bench as well, and I thought he looked very good when he came on, really sped up the ball for them. And Alex Hodgman as well, another excellent return. I thought he was fantastic in the front row. Only one injury in this game, yet again, a concussion to Blake Gibson this time. The bloke did more in attacking in the 41 minutes he was on the field than he did in the last 5 seasons. But
the revolving door for him. He's come in and he's just set himself right straight out.
So bad.
Look, Blues dominated 61% possession and 59% territory, but Crusaders' defense is just exceptional. And once the Crusaders started to get the ball, they just dominated. Paul Williams, I thought, was pretty good. I thought he just let the game flow really, really well. So props to him for letting these guys just have an absolute slugfest. The Blues set piece, I thought, really interesting how dominant they were in the scrum early on. There was that big turning point where it looked like for all money they were going to get a pushover penalty try and a yellow card to the Crusaders, and everything was going their way. I think they'd had 3 scrum penalties or something up to that point, and then all of a sudden it goes the other way. Crusaders get the penalty, kissed on the dick, I think is the term. That normally gets
that's just a classic. That's a classic Crusaders move. Just letting them think they're on top and just waiting, and then just like, no, we're the best. Sorry, too bad.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a massive turning point in the game, though. In all seriousness, the Blues, it's not about playing 80 minutes anymore. Their bench has enough impetus. It's just that they need to be more accurate in defence to stop these counter-attacking chances from the Crusaders, and they need to take every opportunity that comes their way. I think Black missed a couple of kicks as well, which is important scoreboard pressure against a team that scores at will. And how good was it seeing the Sevu Reece just trolling of Rico Ioane as well? I thought that was pretty good.
I won't say he nailed the movement, but the troll worked very well.
Yeah, he didn't get the two arms behind the
He
biceps.
he didn't bounce it.
Yeah, but to be fair, I didn't like him trying to milk that penalty later on down there.
Neither did I. But
Mind you, that should have been a card.
Kurt Eklund did try and kill him, so I have both those players.
I did enjoy the suplex. It was good.
Yeah.
But, mate, you can't complain about Kirk Eklund, mate, coming on and getting 2 tries. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Almost red card.
And he should have been redded as well. Richie Moe just still entered the cheat codes at the start of the game again, just doing whatever the hell he felt like. That try that he scored late in the game as well, he should have passed to Sevi Reece, personally, I believe. But, man, he just does it so easy.
Yeah, that looks like you're playing a Rugby 08 on PlayStation, it doesn't it? You just kind of run through and somehow you just go through the players. That's what that looked like.
He is ridiculous.
Look, the stats in attack were all exceptional, but all very even. So we'll go to defense, 85% from the Crusaders, 73% from the Blues, despite only making 75 tackles, attempting 75 tackles. They missed 20 of them. So I think that just shows how deadly the Crusaders were with the ball. And we've talked about the set piece already. The line out, I think, was pretty even, surprisingly. Fantasy man of the match, anyone's guess?
Moonga?
Man of the round.
Yeah, that's right. Again, 73 points, 5 runs, 34 meters, 2 line breaks, 5 tackle busts, a try assist, and 9 from 9 kicks.
Oh.
Cody Taylor, again, big 57. Rico Ioane, 44. And Sammy Whitelock, 44, continues to score really well.
He does. And I think, look, just further on what you said about the Blues not converting down there. So the Blues were it was pretty holistic performance from them. They've really stepped up in terms of previous years. But the Crusaders, I think the telling stat in that first half was they went into the Blues 22 3 times and they came away with 2 tries and a penalty goal. You know, just every time convert is unbelievable. So, I don't know how you beat them. But anyway.